Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Hazel here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into Sukuna Ryomen from the Jujutsu Kaisen anime. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, just sit back, relax, you're in for a treat. So let's get started. Jujutsu Kaisen starts out with the story of Yuji Itadori, a high school student who has eaten the mummified finger of Sukuna Ryomen, a cursed spirit who is over 1,000 years old. This just happens to bring us to the topic at hand today. Sukuna Ryomen, or the King of Curses as many call him, was considered an imaginary demon when in reality he was a human sorcerer that many gave their all to defeat him. Before we continue the topic on Sukuna, we should probably talk about sorcery itself and what role it plays. Jujutsu sorcerers are individuals who have been trained and employed by one of the two educational jujutsu schools in Japan to defend humanity from cursed spirits. The school Yuji has been recruited by is Tokyo Prefectural Jujutsu High School, commonly called Tokyo Jujutsu High, being the sister school of Kyoto Jujutsu High. The school serves as mostly training grounds, and most higher-up jujutsu sorcerers teach here as well. Students learn how to protect humans or non-sorcerers. Evil jujutsu sorcerers are referred to as curse users, which is what Sukuna is considered. Jujutsu and jujutsu sorcerers have existed for thousands of years, though it is currently unknown how long exactly humans have been capable to wield such power. Over 2,000 years ago, during the Heian era, Sukuna was a human sorcerer who died and became a vengeful cursed spirit. This was also the golden era of jujutsu, in which Sukuna claims that the sorcerers have been an issue in every era. Over thousands of years, there would be an ongoing conflict between sorcerers and curses, in which the Society of Sorcerers had organized themselves to work in the shadows to subdue curses in an effort to protect humans. In this modern era, the big three sorcerer families and jujutsu control everything within the community. The minimum for any person to be regarded as a sorcerer is the ability to see cursed spirits. Though to have jujutsu sorcery as a profession, one must bear high levels of cursed energy and be born with the talent to use cursed techniques. This is normally composed of 80% of the jujutsu sorcerer's skill set. However, there are exceptions to this. Those without an innate technique, such as Yuji Itadori and Atsuya Kusakabe, even those without the ability to control their own cursed energy at all, are able to become professionals. Then we have Maki Zenin, who is able to use cursed tools and able to be professional as well. Every jujutsu sorcerer is trained in their youth at either school in Tokyo or Kyoto to be able to exorcise cursed spirits. Everyone is usually fighting to become more and more powerful as the days go and overthrow the people at the top. Now that we know about the Society of Sorcerers somewhat, we can go on to our main topic, Sukuna. Sukuna, as we know, is dead and is now a cursed spirit. But the thing that kicks off the anime and manga and gives us the opportunity to meet Sukuna is when Yuji eats one of the 20 of Sukuna's mummified fingers, causing him to become a vessel for Sukuna's cursed energy and possible reincarnation of Sukuna himself. But Yuji was able to gain his body back, which surprised Sukuna. The fact a human was able to restrain him back and take control was mind-boggling to him. Each of his fingers are preserved in grave wax and grow in power every day and are indestructible, which is why they have been locked away all throughout Japan. The first one being found in a thermometer box by the occult club of Yuji's school. They planned to remove the wrapping, which in turn drew attention to them, causing cursed spirits to show up to try and eat them along with the finger to gain power. Though, once Yuji ate the finger in a desperate attempt to gain the power to help in the fight against the cursed spirit alongside an injured Megumi, as he ate the finger, the cursed spirit would be defeated and tattoos would show up on Yuji's flesh. A second pair of eyes appeared under Yuji's closed ones, maniacal laughter starting to fall from the now special grade's lips. Yuji no longer seemed to be in control of his own body. In his pursuit for power, the special grade curse, Sukuna Ryomen, would start to reside within him in hopes of reincarnation in Yuji's body. Sukuna isn't a good guy, as we all know. He is selfish, cold-hearted, immoral, and sadistic. Shortly after the brief possession of Yuji's body, he comments that he wishes to slaughter women and children of this day and age and likens them to maggots crawling around. He rarely cares for the consequences of his own actions, even if they affect his host, Yuji. In fact, he taunts him and insults him, calling him a brat, and laughs at his despair on multiple occasions. Sukuna is aware of his tremendous amounts of power and is quite arrogant, being brutal against a finger bearer, while also patronizing and proclaiming how much superior he is. For this reason, he is highly dismissive of his rivals and rarely takes them seriously, even stating he would kill Satoru Gojo to his face. Although these barbaric traits are not to be confused with stupidity, Sukuna is highly intelligent and can manipulate most situations if he wishes, taking Yuji's body hostage by tearing out his heart and forcing Yuji into a binding vow. He has shown that he is capable to acknowledge and praise his rivals, as shown by how before killing Jogo, he acknowledged his strength despite overpowering him completely and telling him he should be proud. Now that we have talked about him a bit, let's go on to his skills and the type of jujutsu techniques he is capable of. Sukuna is a master hand-to-hand combatant, being extremely skilled and powerful in close quarters fighting, showing that he is able to overwhelm any enemy with powerful strikes alone. He can unite his curse technique and his hand-to-hand prowess, making him a difficult opponent to defeat in battle. He has immense strength, both in physical and spirit energy, easily defeating a large cursed spirit with just a simple swipe. During his fight with Gojo, he was able to punch the school roof, causing a collapse of that part of the building. He also easily overpowered a finger bearer, pick Megumi up and fling him through several building floors without effort, and destroy Megumi Shikigami. He even punched Megumi so hard that all of the raindrops in that area dispersed. With 15 of his fingers, Sukuna punched Jogo through buildings and even destroyed his jaw. His attacks also were enough to do a considerable amount of damage to Mahoraga. His next power is his immense speed. He was shown able to move overwhelmingly fast, so fast that his opponent can't even register what is happening at first. He was able to dodge attacks from Jogo and keep up with Mahoraga in their fights. Even with only 3 fingers, he caught a finger bearer off guard and beat him into the ground. Sukuna was even able to appear in the middle of Atsuya Kusakabe and Panda, both capable sorcerers, with the former being a grade 1 sorcerer. His reflexes are another one of his powers. Sukuna can easily counter any opponent, being fast enough that they don't even realize they're limb missing. He was also able to dodge Mahoraga's blows and countered his attacks, quickly able to put him down for good before he had regenerated. He was even able to dodge Jogo's maximum, Meteor. Another power he has is that he is highly durable. He has shown to be thrown through buildings and stand up completely fine. He is also shown to be highly intellectual. As stated before, he has fully grasped the nature of cursed and reverse curse techniques, being able to quickly deduce the workings of the technique after seeing it once or twice, and is capable of creating a counter. Next is metamorphosis. He is able to create new eyes and mouths on his host, allowing him to see and even speak without controlling the host's body. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. With the services Skillshare provides, you can get access to many in-depth tutorial videos on basically anything you want to learn. Each class that they have is bound to help you with your creative endeavors. Do you want to learn how to make videos like this one? Do you want to learn how to write scripts or edit audio? Skillshare has you covered, and with our link, you can have a 14-day free trial. So what are you waiting for? Click the link now and get 14 days worth of classes free. Link in description below. We are back onto the jujutsu techniques of Sukuna. We shall start with the great amount of curse energy Sukuna has. Sukuna possesses immense amounts of curse energy due to his innate power, which has cemented his title of King of Curses. He was able to use technique continuously throughout his battles without exhausting himself. He has enough skill over his curse energy, able to even use domain expansion and reverse curse techniques, the only other person able to use both being Satoru Gojo. His curse energy surpasses any other special grade curse spirit. Reverse curse technique makes Sukuna able to regenerate lost limbs in an instant, limbs being able to maintain the same integrity as the rest of his body, and even able to heal others. Binding Vow is another one of Sukuna's abilities. It's mostly unnamed, but we see him able to use it with Yuji during the events of the Cursed Womb arc under 2 conditions. 1, Yuji would allow Sukuna to take over his body for 1 full minute when the cursed spirit would chant and chain. And 2, Yuji would forget about the agreement, seeing as he was opposed to it. His next 2 jujutsu techniques are called Dismantle and Cleave. Dismantle being Sukuna's default slashing technique. He normally uses it for inanimate objects, but it can be used against anything. While Cleave is a slashing attack that adjusts itself depending on the toughness of the target and curse energy level to cut them down in 1 swoop. His last technique is his cursed domain expansion called Malevolent Shrine. It creates a Buddhist shrine decorated with skulls, having a unique trait. It doesn't separate space using a barrier. It also creates a binding vow by allowing an escape route, which vastly increases the guaranteed hit's effective area with a maximum radius of nearly 200 meters. Now that we have learned about his past in the anime, and in real life, yes, you heard me right, he is based on a real thing in the mythology of Japan. His past self in the anime, he was the same, just looked different. While still brandishing the tattoos, he had two faces, though it didn't look like two faces. It looks like a wooden mask covering half his face and 4 arms. In real-life mythology, he had 2 faces, front and back, 8 arms, and legs, and was anywhere from 8 feet tall to 178 feet tall, depending on the description. He was considered an Oni, and in some prefectures, he was a warrior who served in the battle against Takefurokuma no Mikoto. While in other areas he's brought religion to the people and was seen as a god to the people, statues being made and enshrined to be worshipped at a temple that he built. He used 2 swords and 2 sets of bows and arrows, even being seen with spears in some cases. There is one case that he was just a human that was born with 2 faces and battled a dragon, becoming a great hero. He was respected in most places, besides by the noble people, because he went against the emperor. Another instance of Sukuna says he is possibly based off a set of twins, born into a noble family, but that's neither here nor there. There is even a story that was posted to a Japanese bulletin board system that had to do with him. It being about a man working to demolish a temple who found a box in a shrine and was told to not open it. But he did anyway. He would find a deformed mummy, it having 2 faces, 2 arms, and 2 legs. His colleagues being cursed to die after seeing such a sight, he had to find the temple master's son who told him what the mummy was. He learned that it was made by a cult who trapped a deformed human in a closed room until they starved to death and made into a mummy. The mummy was named Sukuna Ryomen, Ryo meaning both sides, and Men meaning mask or face, indicating his 2 faces. The mummy was moved somewhere new and caused disasters, there being rumors about the serial nature of Japan having a relationship with where the mummy is stored. The poster lost the connection with both the master and his son, and the latest location of Sukuna is unknown. Now, onto the last part I wish to talk about, the tattoos that adorn Sukuna's body. I believe the tattoos are connected to something we see happen in the history of Japan as well, that being criminals being tattooed in the Edo area. We see Sukuna having many in common with that of the Irezumike, or tattoo penalty. This was the practice of instead of decapitating someone who committed a crime, they would be tattooed. It worked on a 3-strike system, and the person would be marked in different areas depending on the crime. Stealing, they would be marked on the wrist or arm. Murder, they would be marked on the face. And running or evasion of the police would be legs, though this last one is mostly my own theory. If they hit their 3rd strike, it would still follow the decapitation of such limb or death in the case that the criminal murdered. In Hiroshima, people were tattooed with dog, Chikuzen, lines, Takayama, dots, and Hizen, crosses. The act of tattooing a criminal as punishment was abolished in the Meiji period of Japan, though it is still a stigma in Japan, people see them as taboo. While today's perceptions of tattooing in Japan might be rooted in this 5,000-year history, organized crime groups such as the Yakuza continue the practice of tattooing, conserving its association with criminality. This has even led to misconceptions that tattoos in Japan are illegal. However, the law forbidding tattoos was abolished in 1872. Though this is all just a theory, something I have had in mind for quite some time, his tattoos could not be connected to the past in Japan at all, but I like to think that they are. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Cielestials have got you covered. Our We the Cielestials My Hero Academia and Naruto What Ifs channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Cielestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Cielestials, then I'd like to extend to you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us today for today's video, so thank you all for watching. and have a great day.